I've been looking forward to White Lotus season 3 for a long time, so let's get into these theories, predictions, Easter eggs, details, all of it. So almost immediately, we're thrown into this show where spirituality and religion is going to be ridiculously important. Everyone's at a wellness retreat. There's multiple people there talking about different types of spiritualities. And so I want to see how these things butt heads. We already see the dichotomy here with this character where he's in front of the Buddha statue, but then he starts praying to God. And that dichotomy, I'm sure, is going to show up a lot because you have this indigenous religion here in Thailand, but then you have all these foreigners coming in for tourism, bringing their ideals, bringing their values, and I'm sure that that is going to clash with the locals 100% in this show. And in White Lotus fashion, this is a flash forward where we see that there's a dead body here, and we're hoping that is not his mom, because that would just be a tragic opening to the show for real. So the show starts off showing his mom, Belinda, who has been in a previous season of White Lotus, and I'm glad to see her back. So in this episode, all we really see from Belinda is that she's on a work retreat, and we just see her acclimating to this new White Lotus hotel. As far as on a deeper level, we do get a race dynamic. We see that here when she sees these other black people at dinner, and she automatically feels that connection. If you're black, if you're a minority, you get this. Now, why this is important though, is because this idea of belonging is a gigantic theme in this episode. And so for her, it may be this race barrier, but like seriously, every character in here has something to do with feeling like they belong, questioning if they belong. Essentially, everybody in this family has this weird family, right? Obviously, the mom feels weird. Then you have the whole like Duke versus UNC, and then you have the youngest son not knowing where he belongs. The daughter seems kind of, I don't know where I belong. The only person, and honestly, they feel like they're overcompensating, is the oldest son has this like knowing about him, and it's a terrible knowing. Horrible. The oldest son is giving incel, and I would not be surprised if he's the one that shot up the entire resort. He is on some weird stuff. This man is odd. He has a thing for his brother, a thing for his sister. Like, yo, this scene was incredibly uncomfortable and strange, and yeah, like I already don't like this dude at all. I do not like this guy, and I am praying that this guy's little brother does not get just brainwashed in this man's ways. Like, please go the other way, little bro. Don't follow this man's footsteps. I'm begging you. And yo, my wife caught this detail. So animals, huge theme in this show. They talk about monkeys. The lizard scurries across with Belinda.
Oh my God! What was it? Oh my God, what was that?
But my wife caught this detail. And this scene right here with the oldest son, he's in the pool. And when he comes above the water like this, it's almost like he's a predator, like he's like an alligator. He's sniffing out his prey. Look at that. It's literally how alligators work, right? And he's sniffing out his prey, which is all of the women out by the pool, literally searching. And I do think this theme of animals is going to come back somehow and be really, really prevalent. I'm not exactly sure how, but for real, they mention animals so many times, especially the monkeys. And even the camera was focused on the monkeys a lot. And on the flip side, you have Belinda's son here in the water, where it seems he's much more the prey, you know, bullets flying around everywhere, and he's hiding in the water to avoid something, whereas that other son was hiding in the water to go attack something. Interesting parallel there. And one more thing, the water element is featured heavily. This is the only time we see an element of fire here on this Buddha statue, and I think something's going to get burned down. The reason I think that is because listen to what happens when she turns around and leaves.
Careful.
Right when she turned to leave, okay, careful. And then it pans up to the fire. Come on now. Now, something I'm not understanding with Piper's character is she seems to revere Buddhism and that type of lifestyle, but there's just this hesitancy the whole entire show for her to actually step into it. Like, she likes to theorize about it and read about it, but it's like the actual experience, she's like a little put off by it for some reason. She seems terrified, extremely anxious about it. Now, there's also this dynamic between the dad and the mom where the mom's obviously always in escapism mode. She's high all the time on some pills or drunk, it looks like. And I definitely think that's going to come back with her son, in the sense that I could see this man taking her drugs and like drugging somebody else, honestly. Like, this man's nasty. He's disgusting. I can see that happening. The dad himself right here, he's obviously hiding something. He's into some shenanigans. I really don't have any predictions of what it could be. We know that a story's about to come out about him.
Maybe, why don't you put all your questions in an email, send it to my office, I'll get back to you, because it's really not a good time. Well, good luck with that, and thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
I don't know. It wasn't really hinted at much of what it could be. Now, when we're talking about indigenous people versus people coming in, tourists and all that kind of stuff, for some reason it seems like this lady, it seems like she's been hired to play someone that comes off like a local. It seems like she had a prior life as an actress, but it seems like she's still doing that. Like, they're putting, this fake face to the White Lotus. And also the White Lotus is clearly up to something, because they are taking everybody's phones, which is obviously going to come back into play when the whole entire resort gets shot up. Like, no one's going to have a phone on them. And I know it's for the wellness retreat, and maybe that's why they do it, but that's just really unfortunate, because we know that the place is going to get shot up. No one's going to have a phone. Also, right here with this fruit, with her telling him that it's poisonous, that's obviously going to come back too, for sure. Someone's going to get poisoned by this fruit. I could not tell what's up with this couple right here. I honestly couldn't tell if they actually knew each other that well, or if she's like a prostitute or something. I honestly couldn't tell. Like, it seemed like they were either a brand new couple or he invited her there for some random reason. But this girl did give us the biggest reveal of this season, is that this man is back from season 1 and 2. He's the reason why Jennifer Coolidge got robbed and was behind all of that. Why is he back? And my prediction is that his wife is actually the one scouting out other people. Like, I think they're scouting her out, and he sent his wife to go do it. I don't think this was like some random occurrence at the bar. And honestly, I don't know what his beef is with Shritala. I hope I'm saying that right. He just really wants to see her husband, and that's definitely a big question mark as far as where the show's gonna go with that.
Question for you. You know that lady on the beach, the owner?
Oh, yes.
Is she married?
Yes, to Jim Hollinger. He's a very famous man in Thailand.
Is he here?
No, he's been sick. He was in hospital here. Yesterday he got released and he went back to Bangkok.
He's in Bangkok.
Place is insane.
Fucking motherfucker.
Totally no idea what that's about.
How's your night? Fuck off. Fucking prick.
This man just has beef with people. Here's the thing. It's clear that these 3 women hate each other. They are extremely passive aggressive. She's famous. She's rich. And it seems like she is just, a regular person. And that dynamic's going to be interesting, but they obviously do not like each other.
You look amazing.
But you look incredible.
You look incredible. You look the same as you did 20 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Passive aggressive. Like, I would not be surprised if one of them ends up leaving the resort out of resentment, or if one of them ends up hurting somebody out of resentment. Like, they do not like each other. It's getting framed as some girls trip or something, but it's clear that this is like some type of competition going on here. I mean, look, like one of them cracks by the end of the episode. She finally had enough of her friends. She was like, nah, I can't take this anymore. And I'm not surprised, because who could take up with that passive aggressiveness for that long? Also, she may be looking at how successful they are and feeling some type of, shame about herself, right? But I think she's going to be the most interesting story out of those 3. These 2 clearly like each other. And obviously, he's going to have some type of beef or smoke with those security guard guys that are hitting on her for sure. He seems to be this reserved guy, but I don't know. He's either going to have a character arc where he has to take a stand, or he's not even that nice to begin with. And this last scene here, this slow pan out, really shows to me it looks like someone's stalking them and watching them. Once again, kind of going back to the animals and the predators. This episode left a lot up to interpretation as far as when it comes to predictions. For being a premiere, there honestly wasn't too much going on and too much being revealed. It was a very slow opening premiere. And so next week, I feel like we'll have more to really break down. I feel like we kind of just got the basics of the story and the characters in this premiere. So definitely check in next week. We'll have even more to dive into to see how this murder mystery plans out and what's going down. Until next week, I'll see y'all.